Welcome to Just Desserts. My name is Renee Smith and this is Jaime Hendricks. Jaime, I've got a great game for us today.
Okay.
But it's kind of challenging. I'll just warn you up front. This one I even have had trouble with at times playing. This is called Set, and the object of the game is to form sets of 3 cards. Now that sounds like it might be easy, but let's talk about what the cards have on them. First of all, they each have shapes, colors, and a number of the shape that's on there. So on this card I have 1 purple diamond, and on this card I have 3 purple ovals or ellipses, and then on this one I have 3
Squiggles.
red squiggles. And actually there are green, red, and purple cards. So we can have either 1, 2, or 3 shapes. We can have 3 different colors, and we can have different numbers of shapes on the card. So we're thinking about 3 characteristics right now. And that's sometimes hard for us to do, to wrap our mind around 3 different things. But that's really a great skill for your kids to be able to do, because what that helps them do is later on down the road, as they get older, it helps them in geometry. And it also helps them talk about comparing and contrasting or finding similarities and differences between things. And that's a really high level of thinking if they can do that. Now, let's get to the game. We've placed 12 cards out here, and the manufacturer tells us that we have a really high odds of finding 3 like we need them to be. But what you have to think about is each of those 3 different characteristics either have to be the same or they have to be different. So let me show you an example of a set that I see out here. I could pull this purple with 2 squiggles, this green with 2 ellipses, and this red with 2 diamonds, and that would form a set. And the reason why is each of the cards have 2, which means that's the same. Mm-hmm. They each are a different shape, so that's a difference for all 3, and they each have a different color. So that makes that a set. And by pulling that, I would score a point. Now, that's not probably the only set that was on the board. I see a different way I could use some, but let's see what you find. See if you can find a set that is either 3 the same or 3 different for all those characteristics.
Okay.
Okay?
How about these?
Okay.
Because they're all different.
They're all different shapes. If we put them out here where we can see, they're all different shapes. You're right.
But I have 2 purples.
But you have 2 purples and a green. You would need a red, and I don't see any one thing that is red, so that won't quite work. How about looking at another one? You see any other option?
Let me see. Yes.
Where?
I'm not seeing it right this very second. You used these, right?
Right, I did use those.
So I need to do... Nope. No, that's not right, is it?
2.
No.
3. You'd have to have a red one.
And I don't.
I can give you a hint.
Okay.
There's a set of 3s. The 3 makes them the same. There's 1. There's 2. Oh, close. But you have 2 purples.
I haven't. Now I do want all purples. Last time purples were a pain.
Okay,
right?
if you have all purples, but you have 2 ovals, guess what?
Work. No, that doesn't work either.
But guess what? You're close. Keep these ovals and add these green diamonds and these red squiggles, and you're there. They were there. It just was hard to see. It's challenging, isn't it?
You don't think it's that hard to see, but it really is.
It really is hard to see. Now, if we were continuing to play and you had taken these, we would add back up to 12, and again, we would go again. Now, we don't take turns in this game. As soon as you see a set, you say set, and we have to stop.
Okay.
But if you call set, You have to pick them up quickly, because if you don't, you're penalized a point. In other words, this set would be gone because you would penalize a point. So you really have to look and make sure before you call set. So that's that part of the game. Now, you ready for me to make it just a little more difficult?
Well, not really, but...
But let me show you how this does get even more challenging. Once kids get good with 3 characteristics, then we open up the box and we pull out more cards. And in these cards, all of the shapes are still the same shape and the colors are the same color, but now we have some that don't have any fill in them. These are empty and these are filled. And so now we would be looking at a 4th characteristic, whether they're filled or not filled. So if we were going to pick them up, they'd either all have to be empties or they'd all have to be filled. Okay? So that would make it even more challenging.
But I'm still only looking for sets of 3.
You're still only looking for 3 cards that are alike, because we only have 3 colors, we only have 3 shapes, and we only have 3 on a card. 3, 2, or 1 on a card. So you're still looking for 3 cards, but you're looking at 4 different characteristics now, which makes it even more challenging. So you could play this game for a long time and not perfect it. You'd still have to look and be careful before you called set. What do you think? You look those over and see if you can find a set. I'm having a cookie, and these guys are going to find out more about what we're doing here today on My Kid's Turn.